Was a medieval monk really writing epic poems about monkeys? Did a Bavarian duke accidentally unleash a plague with a misplaced hammer blow? And most importantly, why did someone, centuries ago, meticulously record the mating rituals of a creature called ichthyophagy? The trail begins, predictably, in the shadows of the Alps. Not the postcard-perfect peaks you see today, but a wilder, older landscape riddled with caves and whispered secrets. Our story isn't about kings and castles, though. It's about the fringes, the hermits, the wandering scholars, the artisans obsessed with the bizarre and the beautiful. It's a world where the line between reality and legend blurred, and where a single, handwritten page could contain the key to unlocking a lost universe. Let's start with Hermann von Sachsenheim, a man whose life reads like a fever dream. He wasn't a warrior, a diplomat, or even a particularly pious soul. He was apparently an expert in the art of creating elaborate wooden figures, Bandrollen, as they were called, depicting fantastical creatures and scenes from mythology. He documented everything obsessively in a sprawling chronicle that stretches over 200 pages. And within that chronicle, nestled amongst sketches of winged lions and demonic figures, are references to Luc la Maudite, a woman cursed to eternally chase a phantom, and a bizarre obsession with the mule Sans Frert, a wild boar said to possess magical properties. Then there's the matter of the Hindetin, a ballad from the Mabinogion, a collection of Welsh tales. It's not a grand epic, just a simple story about a woman who turns into a wild animal. But it was copied, recopied, and embellished countless times, spreading across Europe like a medieval virus. The Hindetin became a touchstone, a symbol of female power and transformation, and it fueled a whole industry of artistic and literary adaptations. Now let's jump forward a few centuries and cross the border into Bavaria. The year is 1698, and a local official named Haberfeldtraben is investigating rumors of a strange plague sweeping through the region. He's not looking for a divine punishment or a foreign conspiracy. He's meticulously documenting the symptoms: fever, delirium, hallucinations, and he notices a striking correlation. The victims all worked with wood. Specifically, they were involved in the production of Bandrollen, those strange wooden figures. Haberfeldtraben, a man of methodical curiosity, begins to suspect that the plague might be caused by mold. A specific type of mold that thrived on the damp wood, releasing spores that triggered the illness. It's a terrifyingly accurate diagnosis, made possible by a combination of observation, documentation, and a healthy dose of paranoia. Across the Rhine in Germany, a different kind of obsession was taking hold. The master of the playing cards, a mysterious figure known only by his title, was creating exquisitely detailed miniatures depicting scenes from the Bible and classical mythology. These weren't mere illustrations, they were miniature worlds teeming with life and drama. The level of detail is astonishing, down to the individual stitches on a garment or the glint in a warrior's eye. And intriguingly, many of the figures are based on descriptions of real animals: monkeys, gorillas, and even, bizarrely, ichthyophagy, the fish-eaters from ancient Greek mythology. These creatures, described by Herodotus and other historians, were said to inhabit the remote regions of India and Africa, subsisting on a diet of raw fish. The master of the playing cards seems to have taken these accounts as gospel, meticulously recreating these elusive beasts in miniature. Meanwhile, in France, a courtier named Guillaume de Pallerne was embroiled in a scandalous love affair. His story, recounted in a medieval romance, is a whirlwind of betrayal, disguise, and magical intervention. The tale involves a talking horse, a deceptive mirror, and a series of elaborate schemes designed to outwit a jealous husband. It's a story of passion and deception, of illusion and reality, and it reflects the turbulent social and political landscape of the time. Further north in the Netherlands, the Lord Mayor's Show was a spectacle of unparalleled extravagance. The event, held annually in London, featured elaborate floats, costumed performers, and a dazzling display of wealth and power. But beneath the surface of this opulent celebration lay a darker fascination, a morbid curiosity about the grotesque and the macabre. The show included depictions of demons, monsters, and other terrifying creatures, reflecting a widespread belief in the supernatural and the power of evil. Let's move to Italy, where Luca della Robbia was creating terracotta sculptures that seemed to defy gravity. His figures, with their delicate features and serene expressions, were imbued with a sense of otherworldly beauty. And remarkably, his work was often inspired by ancient Greek mythology, particularly the stories of gods and goddesses. The 19th century brought a new wave of fascination with the past. Wolfgang von Goethe, the great German poet and playwright, was captivated by the legends of the Nibelungen, a cycle of heroic tales that originated in the Rhineland. He drew inspiration from these stories, transforming them into a dramatic opera that explored themes of love, betrayal, and revenge. And then there's the strange, unsettling world of the wild horde, a recurring motif in medieval folklore. The wild horde was a terrifying force of nature, a chaotic mob of demons and monsters that roamed the countryside, preying on the innocent. The stories of the wild horde served as a warning against sin and a reminder of the dangers that lurked beyond the boundaries of civilization. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this medieval fascination with the bizarre and the beautiful is the way it reflects a deep-seated desire to understand the world around us. These chroniclers, artists, and scholars weren't simply indulging in idle curiosity. They were grappling with fundamental questions about the nature of reality, the origins of evil, and the relationship between humanity and the divine. The records, the paintings, the ballads, they're not just relics of a bygone era. They're fragments of a conversation that continues to this day. A conversation about monsters, about magic, about the darkness and the light that reside within us all. So what began with a simple question, was a medieval monk really writing epic poems about monkeys? And as we stand at the end of this journey, we are left with one final, unsettling question. If the past is filled with such strange and unsettling stories, what other secrets are waiting to be discovered?